What's going on, y'all? Shemaine Destiny Eagle here. Shout out to everybody on this lovely and glorious Tuesday. Yes, the victory is still feeling bright. And before we talk about the Vikings, laugh at them a bit, do your boy a favor, man. Hit that like button for your boy and hit that subscribe. Would be greatly appreciated, all right? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, all right? So, the victory against the Packers, still feeling bright as ever. And, we are just sitting back, playing the waiting game of whoever we're going to host between the Vikings and the Rams. And first off, I had a feeling that the Rams weren't going to be, they weren't going to be playing at SoFi Stadium due to the wildfire situation. And I do want to send my thoughts and prayers out to everyone that stays there, the families, the fans, and all. Shout out to them. Shout out to Arizona. I heard it took place in Arizona. Shout out to them. For even though it's a division rival, but in the end, it's a business thing. You know, letting the Rams, host the Vikings there. And I wasn't able to see the game. I was busy, doing what I do, either working or being with the family. That's what it's all about. I wish I could do that. I love to do some reactions with y'all, play video games, hop on marbles with my guy Joey, Princess Gamer or whoever. I love to do that, but if I'm not on here, I'm working or I'm with the family. So gotta just prioritize. But anyway, I did see the highlights. I know that doesn't always tell the full story besides the final score. But I am going to say this though. Them Vikings. What up, Birdman? What up, Lloyd of Houston? To the other people that's tuning in, shout out to y'all, man. But them Vikings, I'm going to try my best not to laugh too much. You feel me? I do. Well, I'm not going to say so much of karma or anything. I'm not going to say so much of that, I don't know. But fuck it. Because there are times the fans were talking smack to us. Even when we never played them this season. They were talking smack to us. So fuck it. Let's talk about it. Vikings fans. Vikings fans. Skull to the bowl, huh? Skull to the bowl, huh? Now, although I gotta say, it is creative in a way. It is creative. Never heard it before. I never heard it before. I gotta admire creativity and all. Skull to the bowl, but damn, how'd that work out for you? 14 and what? 3? Was that y'all record? 14 and 3? How the hell are you 14 and 3 and y'all went one and done? To the supposed frauds that didn't belong in the playoffs, and that's the Rams. How the hell? Like, and they say, and you know what? Maverick already said it. Shout out to him. Vikings are fraudulent. So you know how they say defense wins championships? And one would think, being as though the Vikings have one of the best damn defense, they were playmakers and all. How the hell did y'all lose the way y'all did? What the hell? What happened? What happened? Sam Darnold, who had a very impressive season, besides the last 2 weeks, but they had a very impressive season. He had a very impressive season. He looked exactly as I expected him to, either in the playoffs or if the Eagles were to face him. He played exactly as I expected it to turn out. Like a backup, like a third string, like a first round bust. You name it. He looked like shit. He really did. He looked like shit. The Rams made the Vikings look like they did not belong in the playoffs. How the hell are you 14-3, looking like you don't belong in the playoffs? 14-3, number 5, number 5th seed or whatever, 5th seed. I mean, you can't do anything about the rules there. I mean, and I understand why they did so, because every winner in the division is automatically going to be the higher seed. Only thing is, it's going to come down to who has the better record. So for the Vikings to be upset at being 14-3, and they had to travel on the road to face a 10-7 Rams, y'all have no right to complain. You had an opportunity to claim the number 1 seed from the Vikings. You had an opportunity. You had an opportunity. You blew it. You blew it. Final game of the season. Y'all went to Detroit. The Lions, with all due respect, the Lions had almost 15 players out. They were doing the best they can to hold the number 1 seed. Y'all had the momentum, the morale moving forward, winning games. Y'all had your opportunity to not only take the number 1 seed, but win the division and claim the bye week. You had your opportunity, but not only did you blow it, y'all didn't look like y'all deserved the opportunity. You have no one to blame but yourself. So that whole hashtag skull to the bowl, it sounds good. I guess you could say it had a nice ring to it. It's creative. But in the end, more like hashtag skull fold. Skull fold. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Skull fold. Well, I guess we can get back to hashtag skull this. Good God. What happened to y'all? Like, seriously, what happened? There's some fans, look, it's one thing, you're being very confident. Someone said the Vikings will go to the Super Bowl. Book it down. That's one of the, look, I admire your confidence, but you guys didn't even a legitimate reason to feel that way. By you saying that, you're ignoring, what's the name? You're ignoring the fact that the Lions just kicked y'all ass. You're ignoring the Eagles' performance. You're even ignoring Washington's performance. You're ignoring, well, at one point, even though I picked the Rams, you feel me? I didn't sleep on the Rams. I just had a feeling the Rams were going to win that game, and I picked them. Some people were, they kind of laughed at my pick. But who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Anyway, I'm just saying, like, next time, don't. I said it before in my last stream, and I'm gonna say it once again. Let the Vikings versus the Rams. Don't sleep on it. No matter if they're good or bad. All right. I don't know about the whole Millie thing. The last time I even heard or cared about Millie, I didn't even know. What goes on in Minnesota, that's Minnesota. Don't care. Respectfully, don't care. But anyway, Lions did put out the blueprint to expose their ass. They definitely did. They most definitely did. But when it comes to Sam Darnold, what was there to really expose? If they want to put someone like Sam Darnold at the very top of the map doing all sorts of glazing and everything, like, no. A guy like him that's played for multiple teams, starting from the Jets, went to the Panthers, to the 49ers, and now, the Vikings? I don't know who else he played for, but come on. What was there to really trust about him? I would have much rather taken Josh Dobbs way more serious than Sam Darnold. I would have much rather taken Josh Dobbs way more serious. But yeah, what's there to really say? Anyway, I'm 10 minutes in. I'm supposed to be talking about the Eagles and the Packers. But if this was, hey man, shout out to the Rams for taking out the Vikings. It wouldn't matter either way who won because we're ready for this smoke. We're ready to match up between the Eagles and the Rams. I love the matchup. Puka Nakua and them. Shit, Cooper Kupp. I don't know. He probably still playing. I don't know. I mean, no disrespect to Cooper Kupp, but that man is always hurt. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully he's okay. But I'm ready for the matchup. If we're going to be the best damn defense, we got to be ready for whoever we're going against. We're ready for whoever. I welcome the challenge. Whether if it's the Rams, whether if it's Washington, whether if it's Detroit, Vikings, whoever, I'm ready. If we're going to be the number one seed, it's time to act like the number one seed. If you want to be the best damn team, the real competitive teams, you're not supposed to fear anyone. So I'm ready, whoever. So we got the Rams, bring on the Rams. And as much and some fans trying to base this win off of what happened last time. I mean, listen, yeah, we ran all over their asses, you feel me? We ran all over their asses. Saquon torched their asses. His career record and all. I don't know who's ran for over 250 yards. I don't know. I don't recall in my era. I don't recall. I could be wrong. But yeah, I know you don't give a shit. You think it's going to go back and forth. I'm just going to say it once again. This time, I'm not even going to bring it to Twitter because they're toxic as hell there. You feel me? But I bet they won't be as cocky again. Anyway, let's get back to it. I'm going to say this. I'm expecting us to win this game as well. I got us winning this game. Let me just say that. I got us winning this game. But don't sleep on the possibility that, I'm going to say it once again, don't sleep on the possibility that this game could be close. The Rams could be trying to put in the effort to hold down Saquon. If they blitz too much, better start using your tight ends. Listen, I don't care how we win this game. Whether if our wide receivers eat or Saquon once again do his thing. I don't care however it goes. But win. That's all that matters. Win. Shit, man. And the Eagles fans weren't very happy with Saquon sliding to the ground. You know what I had to say? Yeah, I understand. I mean, I understand the debate and all, I understand the debate and all. Let me just say that. I understand the debate. Saquon should have just ran the ball down their throats, F them. You feel me? Get them yards up and everything. I get that. I get that and all. I get it. But at the same time, I understood his reason. So many players were hurt. Just listen, we got game, bro. Ain't no reason to push forward. We got the game. Just slide. It's on to the next one. We have nothing to prove at this point. We need our players fully healthy moving forward. Look at the Packers. How many players did they lose? Come on now. How many players did they lose? How many players did the Packers lose during that game? You tell me. They lost their center. They lost two of their wide receivers. What's his name? Romeo Dubs and what's the other guy name? I can't remember that. I don't know that other guy's name. I can't remember that other guy's name. I can't remember. It's like right off the tip of the tongue, but I can't really why can't I remember this goddamn name? He ended up getting hurt anyway. And to mention, they already lost Jair Alexander. They already lost Christian Watson. The outcome would not have mattered. You're absolutely right. But I'm just saying, the outcome wouldn't even matter. But I want to make sure all of our players is fine. You feel me? Nakobe Dean, that hurts right there, bro. Like for real, that really hurts. No Nakobe Dean the rest of the season. That really hurts. Listen, so many players got hurt. So many players got hurt. Get that first down, just take that slide, call it game, on to the next one. On to the next one. Because Saquon is a huge piece of our offense. Along with, of course, A.J. Brown, Smitty, Goddard, fucking ate that crazy stiff arm. Listen. Make sure everybody is good. On to the next one. Fuck all that stunting shit, man. Just move on to the next. Move on to the next. Move on to the next. Now we got the Rams. I ain't even mad at Saquon for sliding. What for? What for? I would have, yeah, sure. He probably would have had almost 200 yards. Sure. We done ran up the score, but what's done is already done. Saquon is a humble guy. You know that. You should have known that when we played against the Giants. He had an opportunity to pass his career career rushing record in a single game or whatever. You should have known how humble he was. Then. And let me say this. Let me say this, though. Let me say this, and I'm going to just leave it at that. If Saquon wasn't as humble as he was, he would have been beat Eric Dickerson's record. That's a very unpopular opinion. I just realized that. That's a very unpopular opinion, but in the end, it's factual. He would have had at least 150 yards had he not been as humble as he is, realizing the game is over, he just sat the rest of the way. If he wasn't as humble the way he was, we would have been beat the record. But what's done is already done in that situation. What's done with him sliding to end the game, that's already done. He's a humble dude. And guess what? He's a generational talent. He's a generational talent, and he's humble. I respect that. What's done is already done. I don't know why y'all mad. For one, we didn't go one and done. We did not go one and done like the Vikings just did in embarrassment fashion at that. We fucking won. What are y'all mad for? What are y'all mad for? Then we're talking about Jalen Hurts. What are y'all mad for? Y'all talking about Jalen Hurts is holding us back. For how? The man just came back from a freaking what's the damn name? He just came back from a concussion injury. He didn't play for 3 weeks. What did you expect? I said it then, and I'm gonna say it once again. What did y'all expect? What did y'all expect? What did y'all expect? Can't expect him to have dominant performance or play like an MVP right away. Shit, he did enough to win. Would you rather have? Let's keep it a buck here. Would you have rather had Jalen Hurts performance numbers or whatever, or would you have rather had Jordan Love? Jordan Love, despite those 3 interceptions, he had almost 200 in passing, but in the end, he lost. He lost. Jalen Hurts, yeah, some of the passes were very sloppy. What was he? 13 for 21, 139 yards, but guess what? 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And above that, a win, baby. I'll take that over anything. What are y'all mad for? Unlike Jordan Love, Hurts is advancing. I be grilling these toxic retards, and I'm here for it. Hell yeah. But here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. Slayer, here's my thing. I never wanted to do this. I never did. But I'm gonna listen, man. I'm all for sitting down on the table, drink some beer, have a nice little respectful debate. I'm one of the most humble people out there. Ask DFW. Ask him. And he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. Ask him. Ask NFC. Ask Sinus. Ask anybody that knows me in real life or that interacts with me. But the very moment you fucking disrespect me, that humble shit is out the window. That humble shit is out of the window. You're not gonna fucking disrespect me and just think you're gonna get away with it. I don't care who you are. You're not gonna do that. And what set the final straw is you insulting my fanhood. Is you insulting my fanhood. I'll gladly dance to that any fucking day. You're not gonna do that, bro. You're not gonna do that. Not after I just went through a whole season rocking, defending my team despite bad performances against bad teams or whatever. While y'all gave up, we're not gonna forget about that, man. But enough of that. Enough of that. I said I was done with it. I said I was done with that. But yeah, I'm just saying though, I'm one of the most humble fans out there. I try not to be as toxic as I was years ago. But if it's one thing I've always been good at, despite being humble, apparently my words can really get under people's skin. Despite, despite being either professional or humble with it or whatever, I don't know. But I told you guys, I told y'all since the very moment Jalen Hurts got drafted. I told y'all. The moment Jalen Hurts got drafted, while Carson Wentz was the supposed future, that was going to be the last time I ever lied to y'all. The last time I throw smoke screens or whatever, I said from here on out, I'm going to keep it 100. Yeah, the TTC days are over. As far as the trash talk, as far as keeping 100 or whatever goes, that's just me being me. All my hate or whatever towards the Dallas Cowboys is legit. My hate towards the Giants is legit. My hate towards the Niners, I would say I didn't start hating them like that until 2021. Vikings, since maybe 2018. The Steelers, hated them all my life. Ravens, hated them all my life because my father's side of the family are Ravens fans. But yeah, what'd he say? Cowboy X Factor said Juan Gotti, he turned back into a pumpkin after his fairy tale season was over against the Lions and the Rams in two teams they can't beat. Oh, I mean, listen. Ron Gotti is my guy, though. Ron Gotti is my guy. D, I need a dub of that TTC video with Skeletor. Oh, I got you, Maverick. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Twitter. I got that video. I still got that video. That video got flagged down. I still got that video. That video got flagged down though. So hit me up on Twitter or wherever you follow me on. If you got my Discord or whatever, just hit me up there and I'll send it to you. I'll tell you one thing. I am not putting it on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter. I'm not putting it on YouTube anymore after they flag my shit down. No, sirree. Motherfuckers can misconstrue criticism for disrespect. Flat out don't. They really don't. They really don't. But hey, I'm just happy. I said what I said and I stood on it. I stood on it. I said what I said and I stood on it. I'm not letting nobody, not even my own fan base, disrespect me. So all those Eagles fans on social media that that criticize me, especially the women. Yeah, fuck all of them. Now I'm not talking about those that wasn't anywhere near as trashy as a lot of them that. Listen, I'm just different, and I love being different. I love being different. But hey, on to the next one. What else I want to talk about? Thoughts and prayers. I said it beforehand. I'm gonna say it again. Thoughts and prayers out to Nakobe Dean, man. That hurt right there, man. He's another. He was one of the big guys that we've lost. That man really proved a lot of fans wrong, man. Me, I had yet to be convinced. At the time, prior to this season, I had yet to be convinced if he was the future. Because I mean, there were times he was hurt. There were times, we didn't really see his moment. But man, this season he really killed it. He looked like what we love to see from back in his days. What was he with Georgia? I think he's with the Georgia Bulldogs. I think he was with the Georgia Bulldogs. But yeah, but back in his college days, he looked like himself. Despite people saying he was undersized and he's down like a walking glass bottle or whatever, man, he was killing it this season, bro. He's won so many people over. But now it's like, damn, that really does suck. That now he's going to be out for the next 9 to 10 months. He's not going to be able to participate in practice. He might not even start during the regular season. He might not even start at all. He might not even play at all during the next season. It's going to be a tough one for him moving forward. And I want to send thoughts and prayers to him. You feel me? I want to send thoughts and prayers to him. But if I had to choose between him and Zach Bond, regardless, I was for Zach Bond. And of course, I still want Nakobe Dean too. But as far as when it came to paying, man, Zach Bond has really proved himself to be like, he was one of the greatest linebackers. He played like one of the greatest linebackers this season. He looked better than Roquan Smith. He looked better than Fred Warner. He looked better than like multiple linebackers. For him not to be mentioned and being defensive player of the year, now they're not talking about him as much. It's ridiculous, bro. It's really ridiculous. If his name was as big as Fred Warner in them, oh, they would be all over it, nonstop. But this just goes to show you that it's nothing more than a popularity contest. It's really nothing more than a popularity contest. It's like Saquon not being MVP or whatnot from the looks of it. They're probably gonna go with Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. Saquon is one of the first running backs. He's well, let's say one of the nine running backs in NFL history. He's the ninth running back in NFL history to hit 2,000 yards. That means something right there. That should really mean something. But then again, you also got to realize running backs aren't as valued in the NFL. So that's that as well. So it just doesn't surprise. But you know what? In the end, I'm not going to be as offended or pissed off or whatever as I was in 2017 or 2018 when Carson Wentz, in my honest opinion, got robbed for MVP and Doug Peterson not getting hit coach of the year or whatever. You know what? Here's what I want more than anything. I want the Super Bowl. That's what I want in the end. I want the Super Bowl. So in the end, fuck it. None of that's going to matter to me. I said it then. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it now. In 2024, all that MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, all like that is nothing more than a popularity contest. All that's going to be forgotten. But what won't be forgotten is the Super Bowl. My bad. The Super Bowl is more than any fucking thing. I learned that from Cowboy fans. I learned that from the Patriots. I learned that even from the Niners, Giants, you name it. None of that matters if you don't win the Super Bowl. Eagles being number one team. We don't win this game, bro. If we don't win the ring this year, it's all going to be for nothing. Because a lot of players aren't guaranteed to come back. A lot of players aren't guaranteed to come back. So we got to do what we can. I say the running backs are valued based on the past season and revival for it to come back. It would have guaranteed been revival 100% if Saquon was to beat Eric Dickerson's record. I think it would have been valued, like the money part would have been up there with wide receivers or quarterbacks or whatever. Maybe not as much as a quarterback, but you know what I mean. I feel like the running back would have been strong once again. It would have been great once again. And I feel like Saquon really brought that back. It probably would have been more insane if he broke that record, but you know, whatever. All I give a fuck about is the ring. Facts. That's all I care about. That's all that I care about. Yeah, my team won a lot of awards in 2016, but yep. Let it on. Yep. Every year, players are coming and going. Facts. That's right, Joey. Shout out to my brother Joey, man. Would DE would they have said the same if Saquon broke the record and they don't go far in the playoffs?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, yeah, I don't think they would have they wouldn't give a shit about the record. The only two fan bases that would be still talking about the record is Eagles fans and Giants fans. And you know why in the Giants fans case, they all would be looking at Joe Shane. Like, you let that guy go to the Eagles and beat the record? They followed his narrative and everything. They followed his reason and everything. They followed his reason and everything. They don't ain't nobody like we could probably talk about it for another year or two, but just like Eric Dickerson's, they're going to forget about it moving forward. And like I say, that record doesn't bring a trophy to our case anyway. So that's why I didn't care if 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 Saquon didn't beat it. I think it was a very wise decision. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I think it was a very wise decision to sit him. And being as though we just went into this game against the Packers, who's to know if the players would have been healthy? I mean, a lot of players did go down. It probably would have been worse for us. It probably would have been much worse for us. I feel like we basically they did their bye week pretty early. Just like the Lions, just like the Chiefs. They did their bye week. Just like that. Yeah, players want to go get their bag. Yep, they do. And that's the thing that sucks, man. Like, players do come and go, coaches come and go. I could say I hope Kellen Moore doesn't go, but then again, I said this in somebody's stream, but I'm gonna say it again. All right. I said this in someone's stream, but I'm gonna say it again. If Kellen Moore goes to the Cowboys as their head coach, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. I know a lot of Eagles fans are going to be very upset, but I'm just going to say this and I'm going to leave it at that. Never expect loyalty from anyone that came from the ops. Never expect loyalty. You feel me? You meet them like how you lost them, or I forgot how that word goes. I forgot how that goes. I'm not saying we beat the Lions, but I'm definitely going with confidence and playing with. Hey, Juan, as you should, bro. As you should. There is a possibility that Washington could beat the Lions. There is a possibility. You feel me? There is a possibility. You have every right as a Washington fan to go in there with confidence. If you don't have that kind of confidence, like why are you here? You feel me? Everyone's mindset should be the Super Bowl or at least going like very far in it. Otherwise, why are you a fan? So I can't be mad at you for that. Just as you have every confidence, to feel that Washington can beat the Eagles. You have every right. You have every right. Lions fans have every right to feel, they'll go to the Super Bowl, or Vikings, even though that shit fell back on them. You feel me? Rams fans, whoever. Lose to them to say where you got them. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, man. But yeah. Never expect loyalty from anyone that came from division rival. Kellen Moore, he was a Cowboys offensive coordinator. Saquon, he was with the Giants. He was with the Giants. So I mean, listen, I love that he's here, and I would love for him to stay, for years to come. But I don't think he's ever going back to New York. So I guess it's safe to say that he's definitely not going to the Cowboys and or Washington. Now, if he went to Washington, that would have freaking sucked. But I don't think that's happening. But anyway, shit, I love for Saquon to stay forever. Kellen Moore, I don't always think that him and Hurts is going to match, but Hurts is doing great nonetheless. He's doing great nonetheless. So I mean, even if Kellen Moore, I mean, it just sucks, man, because I just never understand why like they always want to target our coaches. And I said it yesterday, and I'm gonna say it again. Why do they always have to target our guys? They were just laughing at Kellen Moore for coming to Philly. Apparently, Saquon coming here wouldn't have made a difference, and him and Hurts would not have it would not have worked out. But now that the Eagles went 14-3, now they freaking want him all of a sudden. Cowboys, who laughed at Kellen Moore for coming to Philly, now they want him as a head coach once again. It's ridiculous. We got to pay Bond, and I agree. We definitely got to pay Bond. You definitely got to pay Bond. Most definitely. Maverick, I don't think it will happen either. Football is unpredictable. I thought Chargers and Bucks would win, but Texans and Commanders won. Yeah, I think I picked I think I am gonna talk about the Lions and the Commanders as far as rooting or whatever. I am going to address that because RPF did make a response. And no, this is not going to be offensive, it's not going to be attack or anything. Shout out to RPF. You feel me? But I'm gonna talk about that very soon, all right? I'm gonna talk about that very soon. But we do need to pay Bond. Um, I picked I think I picked the Chargers to beat the Texans, and I picked the Bucks to beat Washington, and I was wrong on those two. But I was happy to say I was right on the Rams beating the Vikings. Of course, I was right with the Birds beating the Packers. I was right with the Bills beating the Broncos. And no disrespect to the Broncos, but the Broncos was a very young team. You know, they got a promising future, but I just don't think this was their year. But shout out to them, because just like Washington, I didn't think they was going to get very far anyway. But Washington, they're actually doing better than I expected. I can't hate on that. But anyway, but yeah, I guess you could say I was 4-2 in the picks. But shout out to you, Dank, for being 6-0. Nice. Shout out to you. But let me say this, I guess talk about my I guess my statement about me RPS response, and he wasn't very happy despite apologizing. Shout out to him for that. You feel me? Shout out to him for that. Um yeah, he was pissed. I guess in a way I did kind of made it seem like I told people who they should be rooting for or whatever. I mean, in the end, it's listen, it's common sense. If you loyal, you stand by it. When I grew up, I always believed in never root for a division rival team under no circumstance. Even if it means to get home for the advantage going to the Super Bowl, even for any of that. And then, RPF, I know he said that he's been in this world longer than I have. He's been a fan of the Eagles longer than I have. And he's right. I can't knock that from him. He's absolutely right. It I mean, he was absolutely right. Not although it wasn't really the point. You feel me? It wasn't about who was a fan longer or whatever. It wasn't really the point. But here's my thing, RPF. Here's my thing. If you're gonna go for the Commanders, or you want the Commanders to win, let me just say this. To each their own, whatever. To each their own. But I feel like the reasoning I don't agree with. But in the end, that's your decision, and agree to disagree. But if you want, you should probably mute this when I say this, because even I'm very astonished from one of the smartest Eagles fans. I mean, your shit, bro. You know history left and right. You feel me? You talk about it all the time. I respect it. I'm just very astonished that of your reasoning. And if I didn't have respect for you, bro, I wouldn't keep it 100 with you. So at least look at it that way. But come on, bro. How you carried yourself for the past couple of years is pretty different from how you're feeling now. You are one of the last people. Like, and I say this because I know you're talking about your generation versus my generation, but the thing is, the generation I come from, we learned from your generation. And that is to never, ever root to go for a division rival, even if it's for the benefit of us, for home for the advantage moving forward or whatever. You feel me? That's like that. I'm just saying that's why I am the way I am. Never root for a division rival team. What if it's rooting for them or whatever? I mean, yeah, if you're picking them to beat the Lions, that's one thing. You feel me? If you like, that's football talk. You know, if you feel like the Lions going to beat Washington, that's cool. But you know, some people ain't saying that as the reason. Some are saying, you know, they want Washington to beat the Lions so that so that their road to the Super Bowl can get a lot easier. I don't really agree with that. I don't like that. I don't really like that. And this is all more of the reason why the video Bones made talking about Eagles fans being pussy. He said this last year. It wasn't necessarily towards RPF, but just Eagles fans, how they reacted to the collapse. Panicking because we lost that number one seed. What he said about how real teams are never afraid, you know, regardless if we play on the road or play at home or whatever, stand on it. Stand on it. Stop being scared. Stand on it. And as much I hate to say this because he's a Giants fan, but he was right. When the Giants won their Super Bowl as a wild card team, and they won the playoffs all on the road, he has every right to call it out. He has every right, and I love that fucking video, even though he was clowning Eagles fans, but he's right in the end. I wasn't offended because it didn't apply to me. I wasn't the one acting scared. He was right. He was right. If I know I might be a confusing, you know, a couple people, whatever, but I'm just saying, man, whoever the fuck it is, what if it's Washington, what if it's the Lions or whatever, I don't fear no one. Either you come to Philly or we play in Detroit. I'm for it. I know we might. I mean, in my era, I don't recall playing a team on the road and beating them to go to the Super Bowl. And because of that, some people are afraid or concerned, to say the least, to go to Detroit. Fuck all of that. As much as listen. As much as I would love for the Super Bowl to come to Philly, but I'm saying this from my end, I couldn't root for a division rival. I couldn't root for Washington to beat Detroit so that they could come to Philly. I couldn't do that. If you're going to do that, fine, but I'm not doing that. That's all I'm saying with my hands in the air, you know, agree to disagree. You feel me? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So, I mean, I would I would much rather face Detroit, face the Lions in Detroit. That's all. That's my opinion. You don't like it, hey, or anyone, that's on you. But and when I say that, I feel like, I mean, if you are the best damn team in the NFC, it's time to act like the best damn team. If you have the best damn defense, it's time to act like we have the best damn defense. We gotta stop. If I say this, I'll be projecting. Or some people say, I'm telling people how they should. Listen, take it however you want, all right? But I'm just saying this. I'm just saying this. We gotta stop acting scared. Or people or fans need to stop acting scared. Just because by history we've never gone to the Super Bowl. I mean, winning a road game or whatever in the playoffs. I don't even listen. All that stuff in the past is the past. I'm looking at today as a 2025. I'm ready for whoever. What if we go on a road or we play at home? I'm ready for whoever. That's always been the Philly way. We fear no one. We have no concerns about anyone. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm always embracing what Main Event said back in 20. What year was it? 20. 2014 or whatever. Remember that time when Cupcake Boy sent the email to the Washington Redskins thanking them, and an event called him out, talking about how, Philly fans never act scared. We're always like, bring it on, no matter the circumstance. I'm sticking by that. So what if you want to play on the road or play at home? I'm ready for it. Who the fuck ever. If we're going to be the best damn team in the NFL, it's time to act like it. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right? So if you want to go for Washington to win, you want to go for Washington to win so that we can host it, that fine. That's your opinion. But me, I'd rather go against Detroit. I don't want Washington. And it's the thing, like, what if Washington, I'm not saying it's impossible, or I'm not wishing for it to happen or whatever, but what if Washington does beat the Lions in Detroit? They come to the link with all like that momentum, that morale and everything, and it bites us. Then what can you say then? It's not impossible for Washington to beat the Eagles. It's not impossible, but I'm just saying, like, you already know. I'm confident my team is going to win either way, but I'm just saying, like, don't rule out the possibility. Don't rule it out. What if what if the Eagles fans want Washington to beat the Lions and it bites us when it comes to the link? What will y'all say then? What will you say? You probably wish it was the other way. You probably wish that we went against the Lions instead. I don't freaking know. But anyway, if I confuse some of y'all, my apologies, but I'm gonna just say this. Go Lions. DVE, shout out to them. Go beat Washington. All right. And that's me talking as division rival fan. Hey, shout out to you, RPF. Listen, agree to disagree. In the end, whatever. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. All right. Shout out to Cowboy X Factor. Maverick, if the Rams think they're gonna bully our O-line, they like they did the Vikings, they got another thing coming. Yeah, they're gonna find out the hard way. They're not coming to the link, treating us like how they treated the Vikings. The Vikings, man, come on. Vikings is overrated, man. Vikings is overrated. We'd work Detroit. Golf is 1-4 versus Philly. And 0-2 as a Lion. Yup. But you know what? I'm not even going to use that as a reasoning. I'm not even going to use that as a reasoning. I see the records and it's factuals and all, but I'm not even going to use that as a reasoning. None of that is going to matter come Sunday. I'm just going by what I've seen today in 2024/2025. And you know what? Hey, man, I feel like we can definitely beat the Lions. But like I say, whoever, I think Washington is way more healthier than the Lions. But man, it's going to be crazy, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. It's going to be crazy. Maybe Washington, maybe the game is going to be a lot closer. Maybe the game is going to be a lot closer. Don't rule out the possibility that Washington can. Listen, and I'm going to just say this one last time. If you're picking Washington to beat the Lions, ain't nothing wrong with that. You feel me? That's football. But saying that you want Washington to beat the Lions because you're concerned about the Lions or whatever, that I just don't agree. I just don't agree. But that's my opinion. You feel me? I'm going to say it once again. If you're picking Washington, that's football. You think Washington is a better team? Cool, that's football. But you want Washington to win. You're rooting for Washington to win. I don't agree with that. I don't do that. But yeah, it's not a reason and just a little stat to talk about. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right. And you know what? I think this is a swap. I think this might be a swap. Also, for the Lions on their defense will be healthy. Yep. Yep. Like if Saquon got hurt against the Giants instead of resting, they would tell Coach Nick, I wish we rest. They would switch up in a heartbeat. They would switch up in a heartbeat. All those like guys like Stephen A. Smith or whoever, a lot of them would have switched up in a heartbeat. God forbid that ever happens, but hey. But anyway, Eagles will be hosting the Rams. Of course, I got us winning that game. But I say once again, don't sleep on the possibility the game could be closer. And that's pretty big on the Rams. To eliminate the Vikings the way they did. Drop in. What was the score? 27. Was it 27 or was it 20? I think it was 27. 27-3. Or no, I'm sorry, 27-9. Was that the record? 20. I mean, the score 27-9. The final score. Man, all I'm gonna say is, man, don't sleep on the possibility the game could be closer. That could give the Rams that kind of confidence coming forward and all. But yeah, man, shout out to RPF. Ain't shit, ain't no shit going on between me and him. It ain't no heat. It ain't none of that. It was a major misunderstanding, a major disagreement or whatever. You feel me? And in the end, he could pick whoever he wants to pick. You feel me? We don't have like what's like what is this world? What's the sport or whatever if we agree to every freaking thing? It was 27-9. Okay. Rams game plan will be to slow down Saquon. I believe that too. They probably gonna be sending the whole house. They probably gonna be sending the whole house. Try to slow down Saquon. So what if it turns out to be? It's probably gonna be a little more passing this game. But man, Packers defense was pretty good though. I mean they locked down a lot of our receivers and everything. Some was double teaming and all. But there were times when Goddard was open. I heard, but hey, Hurts, he got back on the field. He shook off that rust and, did just enough to win the game. So there's that. There is that. But yeah, man, to the people that's tuning in, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Be greatly appreciated. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in, but I think I'm gonna have to get back to work because looks like let me just it doesn't look like I'm dropping the trailer, so it's probably gonna be a live load. It's probably gonna be live, so I'll just have to do that. Vikings started the season 5-0, lost to Detroit and Rams back to back. Week 18 wild card. Vikings lost to the they. Wow, you're right. You are right. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? That is insane. You're absolutely right. Thanks for putting that out there. I didn't realize that. Dang. Goddard heard they had a missed call. About Goddard, heard they had a missed call. That was crazy, but it happens. Which one was the missed call? Let them send the house. They're gonna get burnt. AJ Smitty gonna feast. Definitely. AJ Brown gonna feast. Smitty's gonna feast. Jahan Dotson finally got his first touchdown of the year of the season as an Eagle. That's gonna break that ice right there for sure. That's gonna break that ice. Goddard's likely gonna have a damn good game. But yeah, it's just something. I guess it's safe to say the Vikings. It's probably going to be harsh for me to say the Vikings will never win a Super Bowl or they'll never at least get back to the Super Bowl. Because I mean, for y'all to be 14-3 and still go one and done, it's just wild to me. But yeah, man. Anyway, the Rams. That's going to be a very fun matchup. Of course, I definitely got us winning this. I mean, whatever happens beyond, between Washington and the Lions, I'm ready for whoever. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm ready for whoever. So shout out to y'all that's tuned in, man. I appreciate y'all. Let's go Birds. Let's fly, Eagles fly. Vikings find a way to Viking every time. They're a mean team. They're definitely a mean team. I don't know who's more of a mean team, the Vikings, the Falcons, or I ain't gonna say nothing about the Cowboys nor or the Giants. I ain't gonna say nothing about them. I will say this though. I feel like the Cowboys getting rid of Mike McCarthy was the worst decision that's ever happened. You feel me? I think that was one of the worst decisions. I mean, for them to get rid of Mike McCarthy, the guy that won them 12 games, for 3 straight seasons, all into the playoffs. I believe they was all in the playoffs and all. It's just, damn, man. For Jerry Jones, I call him a legend all the time. But what they did there, was the worst. That was a terrible decision. A terrible decision. I'm starting to feel like Jerry Jones could take notes. I'm starting to feel like Jerry Jones could take notes from John Mara. Despite having such a embarrassing season the way the Giants did, yeah, he still has faith in Brian Daboll and Joe Shane. You feel me? Even though Joe Shane was a big reason that Saquon came to Philly, I think Jerry Jones could take notes. Jerry Jones should take notes. I think John Mara is more of a legend now, for what he did. And I think I think Jerry Jones should take notes, damn it. Anyway, let me stop. But yeah, shout out to everybody that tuned in, man. I'm gonna get started, man. Y'all enjoy your day, man. It's always go Birds, fly Eagles fly. Let's beat the fucking Rams. Go Lions. Go Lions for now. And I'm out of here. Y'all take it easy. He said Mayor has faith in them, but his patience running out. Just imagine how that's going to turn out next year. That's all I'm gonna say. He's probably going to fire like first 3 weeks in. Maybe like they did Robert Saleh. I think he got fired in like week 5 or week 6 or whatever. I don't freaking know. But anyway, let's focus on the birds, y'all. All right, I'm out. Peace.